Hey everyone, it's Caslo, and welcome back to my channel. It's time for the first segment of my RPG Club playthrough of the PlayStation Classic JRPG, Breath of Fire 3. But before we get started, what is the RPG Club? I've been an avid listener of the podcast The RPG Years, and its predecessor podcast The RPG Golden Years, and RPG The After Years. The podcast focuses on RPG reviews and news. They regularly do a community event known as the RPG Club. Imagine a book club, but for RPGs. They break up a community-chosen RPG into digestible chunks, usually about 5 hours, and discuss those segments every 2 weeks like a book club. If you want to check out the RPG Years, you can find a link in the description below. So Breath of Fire is a traditional turn-based RPG series, and its third outing is no exception. Where Breath of Fire 3 differs is its systems. For instance, for character development, Breath of Fire 3 introduces the Master System, where each character can apprentice under a master to learn special skills and bonus attributes upon level up. You can also learn skills from your teammates and enemies by studying them in battle and using an item while camping. Breath of Fire 3 also gets rid of overworld battles, but while wandering the overworld, you get an option to go into a special stage where you'll have random encounters, but can collect useful items. So the game opens as 2 miners are setting explosives on a gigantic crystal. After the explosions go off, a baby dragon emerges. Playing as the dragon, you work your way through the mine, fighting off miners until the dragon is knocked out and caged. The miners decide to ship the dragon off by train, and on the trip, the dragon's able to rock its cage off the train and escape. The dragon then turns into a naked child, the main protagonist of the game, Ryu, who falls unconscious before he's saved from some roaming wolves by the anthropomorphic catman, Ree. Ree brings Ryu back to his woodland home that he shares with Tipa to recover. While sleeping, Ryu has cryptic dreams of 2 beings. One, a man that seems like an adult version of Ryu, and a goddess. Ryu awakens to an empty house, but quickly catches up to Ree and Tipa in a nearby town of McNeil. Being thieves, the duo steals some basic equipment for Ryu and begin to teach them their thieving ways. This quickly gets them caught by Bunyan, a big, burly fellow who's worried about recent attacks on the area's animals by a monster on the nearby Mount Glaus. Bunyan sends Ryu to Mount Glaus to take out the monster, but keeps Ryu and Tipo with him. After performing some chores, Ryu and Tipo head off to Mount Glaus to help Ree. After meeting up, they face off with the monster, the Deadly New. After dealing some damage to it, it retreats inside the mountain, where the party eventually finds it and kills it. The group soon discovered that the New had cubs who had passed away, but the New had been attacking animals, hoping to feed them and save them. Taking out the New leads the people of McNeil to see the party as heroes, and livestock and fruits return to the area. So the party returns to McNeil and are approached by a hooded man named Loki, who requests the group infiltrate the McNeil mansion and steal back the town's taxes from the noble there and return them to the people. Tipo sees this as an opportunity for more praise from the town and agrees. The party then approaches the mansion that night and have to sneak in, but after getting separated, Ryu and Tipo have to take out several ghosts as they navigate the mansion alone. Eventually the group reunites, confronts McNeil, and then fights a mega ghost before making out with the tax money. Despite returning this money to the townsfolk, everyone seems to despise the three, and Bunyan informs the group that McNeil was working under a big-name crime boss who was coming for the people who stole the tax money. As a result, the group decides to return home, but finds their house in flames. They're then confronted by the perpetrators, Balio and Sunder, the Unicorn Bros. They quickly defeat the party, and Ryu awakens inside Bunyan's cabin. Tipo and Ree are nowhere to be found, and Ryu sets off for Windia in hopes of finding them. As Ryu crosses Mount Miranig, he again comes across Balio and Sunder, who stab him through the back with a sword, causing him to turn into his dragon form. Sensing an opportunity to make some money, Balio and Sunder take Ryu to Windia to present him to the king. However, when they arrive, Ryu is reverted back into his human form, and the king imprisons them all. While in his cell, Ryu is visited by Princess Nina, who seeks to help get him out. Balio and Sunder, however, talk their way into getting released first, and then they attack Nina and run off. And that's where we leave off for this section. This section was very introductory, and as such, much of the playtime was spent on introducing systems and characters. Character-wise, I forgot how much of a sassy punk Tipo is, and Ree's design is just great. It's interesting how much you actually lose in this first section. from getting knocked out as a dragon, to Ri, Tipo, and Ryu getting mopped up by the Unicorn Bros, and then Ryu taking a sword to the back. It very much plays up how inexperienced you and your team are at this point in the game. Looking to the dungeons, I think McNeil Mansion overstays its welcome. It likely could have been tightened up just a bit and would have felt perfect. This wasn't helped by the fear I would get facing off against a 4-roach enemy encounter, especially when a jump from one of the roaches could almost take out one of my characters at times. I'm excited to see more of this game though, and ready to move on to an adult Ryu, but I fear we have a while until that time skip actually takes place. And that's it for this segment of the Breath of Fire 3 RPG Club. If you want to follow along, be sure to hit that subscribe button to see new videos when they are posted. Additionally, if you want to check me out elsewhere, I have links to my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord in the description below. See you all next time.